Alright, so welcome back guys, or welcome to this your first time here. I'm Vision here with Blind Entertainment, bringing you guys another video. Today we'll be talking about the popular Planet of the Apes franchise, which I'm a huge fan of. So if Planet of the Apes is something you're interested in, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and hit that bell icon. That way you don't miss any more Planet of the Apes news or other movie news from me moving forward. Now let's begin. Like I said, I'm going to be discussing the very popular Planet of the Apes franchise, more specifically the ones produced by 20th Century Fox over the past decade. This regards Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and War for the Planet of the Apes. Now, like I said, I'm a huge fan of the Apes franchise. I love the original ones of Charleston Heston. I only really like the first two. After that, they kind of got a little weird and wonky. But I really do love the original two movies. They're great. I see Tim Burton's one is okay. I know a lot of fans don't really like that one. That one's kind of meh to me. But I feel like this new series from the Rise franchise has been amazing. First off, you got the motion capture with the actors and everything. That is just downright amazing in the way that they're able to film that. So, in regards to that, we know that the trilogy regarding Caesar has ended in regards to those movies. And we know, if you haven't seen War for the Planet of the Apes, spoiler alert, but Caesar has passed in that franchise, or in that trilogy. Now, there were talks that there was potential fourth installment of this ape franchise. However, as we all know, 20th Century Fox was bought out by Marvel and Disney or whatever late last year. So there's this news that people didn't know where they were going. There have been reports that they were going to move forward with a new Apes franchise, possibly rebooting it. But as of late, they are talking about this possible future of the Apes franchise moving forward, and that they will continue to be involved in the Rise of the Planet of the Apes universe. So that's really cool. I feel like the Rise universe has done amazing. You got great characters, both human and the apes alike. I mean, I feel like these movies, at least the trilogy of them, were done great with Caesar's internal journey. And you can see his overarching story between all three of them. And I think each one is as great, if not better, than the next. And they're probably all three of them are probably my top 10 movies of the past decade. Like, they are some amazing movies. And if you haven't seen them, I highly recommend checking them out. You won't be disappointed. But moving on. So, if this news is very true, I think this would be a great step forward. And I feel like this is a franchise that should continue on, especially with the Rise universe, with how much they put into it, how much setup they've done, and everything around it. Disney would be dumb to not continue on with this franchise in this universe, because it's done so well under Fox. And I know they might want to reboot it, but I think that'd be a mistake. Fans have come to love this franchise and these characters, so I think rebooting it would be a mistake. Now, I've talked to people about what they could do moving forward, because this trilogy has ended. The Caesar story and the Caesar trilogy ended. However, I think it's Matt Reeves. I was reading some interviews years back when War came out, and he was talking about how the new character in that movie, Bad Ape, was representative of the future of that franchise, and potentially was setting up some future aspects of the universe. As in, we met Bad Ape, he wore clothes, something that our apes at the time didn't do. So from what I understand, Matt Reeves was saying that the introduction of Bad Ape was to introduce the idea of the apes wearing clothes, similar to what they did in the original franchise. Now, another reason for the inclusion of Bad Ape was to show that there were other apes out there that had evolved other than the ones that Caesar and his group had in them. So there were other apes out there that were, genetically smarter than the rest of them. So that was kind of what Bad Ape did. Now, I think that setup was really well done, and I think now a lot of people thought that, the next one we're going to have Total Planet of the Apes. Now, I do not believe if they go down the road with more, sequels to the original trilogy, that won't be the fourth film. I honestly believe that the fourth film will be kind of like set up for Planet of the Apes. I think that with the fourth film, if they do it, and this is what my opinion they should do, is have his son Cornelius, still young, coming into the leadership role, and you got Rocket, Maurice, and Bad Ape who are still there. They can be his like advisors, his family that's there, and I think they could ease him into like a leadership role, and I think that'd be interesting. Now another reason why I don't think that they're gonna go immediately to a new Planet of the Apes is because if you remember the original trilogy or original movies, they were in a dystopian world. They had, apes controlled everything. The humans were practically slaves. However, where we left things off in War for the Planet of the Apes, the humans and apes, while they didn't get together, they kind of were in a cohesive kind of way of life. Caesar was looking to keep peace between them. Now, yes, his passing did put a hole in that, and someone from his group could rise up to, want to extinguish the humans and, put them in their place. However, you have his leadership, his high-ranking people in regards to Rocket and Maurice and some of the other ones there. So they probably wouldn't let that happen. So I think what they should do and what a good movie would do is introduce another separate group of apes led by someone different, and they go into like an ape war between Caesar's apes and another group of apes who believe that they should have control over the humans, something like that. I think that would be a really interesting, like, have that be the sequel trilogy. Have that be the next trilogy where you have Caesar's apes fighting these other apes who want to oppress the humans. Where you have Caesar's apes who don't want to oppress them. They have a human with them as well. And they want to, keep, peace with the humans. I think that's where they should go with the next trilogy. Is, apes against apes. You had the human conflict. Now let's do the apes against apes conflict. I think that would be a really, really good movie, good trilogy as well. And I think that would be something smart. And you can kind of, over the course of the three movies, you could have the Caesar's son, Cornelius, slowly grow into that role of leader that we saw the original Cornelius in the original trilogy. Like, have this Cornelius in this movie, have that be this version of the old one from the original one, and have him grow into that role. And over time, you see, due to the war, he and the other apes get corrupted and thinking that they're doing the wrong thing or something like that. Or maybe like the royal apes, like Maurice and Rocket, end up dying, and due to that, new apes come to rise in the ranks, and they kind of turn against or morph what Cornelius believes in, and changes the idea of the apes. I think that should be what this new trilogy is about. And if they keep it in this universe, I think that would be even better. Honestly, I think my idea is good, but that's just my idea. I'm just a fan. I don't know. You could always let me know if you think mine's a good idea. If I'm just dumb, I'm just a fan. But I think that's something that I think would be very cool to see. And then when we finally get that trilogy out, you can do the final trilogy of Cornelius as an adult from the original trilogy. Have like a new adaptation of the original Planet of the Apes. Have like, a new Taylor and them show up on the Planet of the Apes in the third movie. I think that would be something cool. And they even had that set up in Rise of the Planet of the Apes, where you had some of the humans at the ape shelter watch a spaceship go into space at the beginning of so I think it's like in the middle of the movie. But a lot of fans, and I think even some of the people in the movie, said that was like foreshadowing or predicting the return of them later on. So I think that could be like the final trilogy. Like, think of it like the Star Wars trilogy. Think of the Rise story as being, the prequels. Then you have the ones that I'm talking about be the original trilogy, similar like to the Star Wars. And then have the one I just mentioned where you have them coming back, have that be like the sequel trilogy. I think that would be a really cool idea. Again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just a fan trying to come up with his own ideas that he thinks is cool. But I honestly think that'd be a cool thing to do. Again, this new Planet of the Apes franchise that we just had over the past decade was very well received with fans. Fans loved them. They wanted to see more. And I think Disney would be dumb not to continue on with that franchise now that they have those properties. And I feel like it could be a big hit for Disney. Disney knows what they're doing. They have amazing things. You got the Marvel Cinematic Universe under them. You got Pixar, which has amazing movies under them. And you have a whole crew of other movies. If you add in the Apes franchise, you would have another great thing under their belt. But they should continue with these movies. Don't reboot it. Continue with these movies, because I think that's what fans would want, at least myself, but I think a lot of fans would agree. That's what fans want, and that's what fans I feel like deserve. They followed these apes on the journey for this past decade or so, and they don't want to see it all go to waste for a new reboot. We already got a reboot that fans didn't like with Tim Burton. Don't make that mistake again. Continue with this franchise. But I'm going to turn it over to you guys. Give me your thoughts and opinions. Do you think that they should reboot the Planet of the Apes franchise? Do you think that they should, continue on with this universe that we saw in Rise of the Planet of the Apes? Or are you not a fan and you just like the original Planet of the Apes movies? Let me know all that good stuff in the comment section down below. So yeah, guys, those are my thoughts and opinions regarding the future of the Planet of the Apes franchise under Disney. As always, if you like this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and hit that bell icon. That way you don't miss any more movie news from me moving forward. And you go follow me on Instagram and Twitter, which are linked in the About section on my YouTube channel. As always, it's been Vision here with Blind Entertainment, and I'll see you next time.